This is Hussein Gandhi bringing you an exclusive opportunity to purchase uh, in the phase one of the brand new condominiums which will be built in Fonthill, uh, which are called 120 condominiums. Begin with Fonthill. Why should they even consider Fonthill?
So Fonthill itself is located within the Niagara region. It is a small town that is really the more affluent center of the Niagara region itself. A lot of times I liken it to sort of the Forest Hill of Toronto, if you will, Rosedale, that sort of feeling within this area. So a lot of people in the Niagara region that have grown up here want to stay within Fonthill, and a lot of people that have grown up within the Niagara region aspire to live in Fonthill. On top of that, you've got the proximity to St. Catharines. You're only about 10 minutes away from St. Catharines, about 10 minutes off of the QEW itself, 5 minutes off Highway 406. Brock University is a mere 10 minutes away as well. So for getting around the Niagara region itself, we're very well situated, and only about 15 minutes from Niagara Falls.
And there are about four international airports.
Four international airports within an hour's drive, four 400 series highways.
Which are the airports we're talking about?
Buffalo, Toronto, Pearson, I should say, Billy Bishop downtown, and the Niagara region airport.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay, and I've heard about the Go Transit, which would be coming in right to St. Catharines. How far do you think that is from?
Yes. So the Go expansion, which was announced last year, $130 million expansion along the Go lines to take it down from Hamilton through Grimsby, through St. Catharines, and all the way to Niagara Falls. That will provide daily Go service to and from the downtown Toronto. Grimsby Station is set to be completed in 2021, St. Catharines and Niagara Falls in 2023. And the station itself in St. Catharines is the one we're closest to here in Fonthill. We're about 10-15 minutes door to door from that station.
Awesome, and this will be ready in 2023.
2023,
And
yes.
our project's going to be ready in 2021.
Exactly.
So just in a couple of years after that, we
Correct. And you've got a very strong rental market here. So for a GTA investor, it won't be a problem to rent your unit out for a few years until the Go arrives.
And what's the pricing? How would you compare this to other places in the GTA and the Golden Horseshoe?
Yeah, great question. So as we all know, price per square foot for a new condominium in downtown Toronto now is well over $1,000 a square foot. If we move down the QEW, get into Etobicoke, we're in the 800s a square foot. Keep going to Hamilton, you're in the low sixes a square foot. Niagara Falls is a little bit higher, but there's of course a premium for that sort of water tourism location. That's around $650 a square foot. St. Catharines itself is about $500 a square foot. We're offering these condominiums, including parking and locker, at $475 a square foot.
Wow, that's a wonderful price on that. And what's the typical range of the units? How much do they cost?
Yeah, so we've got, for our unit mix, we start with a one bedroom. We have a one and den. We have a couple one and den options. We have 2 bedrooms and 2 and dens. We have a few different floor plans for each. Price range starts at about $368,900 for the one bedroom, and then we go up to the high 500s for the largest 2 bedroom and den. But that is 1,231 square feet.
That is big, right?
Yes.
So those would be ideally for the downsizers, people who already have a home, want to sell that and move inside.
Correct.
Would that be accurate?
Yes.
I look at this as the occupants on this units as a two-play. One is that you have the geriatric population 55 and plus who would want to downsize, and the other we have the young crowd going to the
the college out here at the Brook University. Would that be right?
That is correct. You've also got young professionals who would have grown up within the Fonthill town area that have gone away to university. They love the Niagara region. They've come back to work here, or they've stayed here and gone to Brock. But they've graduated. They have good jobs. They've got young families, but they can't afford a home in Fonthill anymore. But they love this city. They want to be here. So much new infrastructure is being built within this region itself. We have the brand new Pelham Community Center, which is, right across the street from our condominium. That's got basketball courts and hockey rinks and full gyms. That will be fully accessible to everybody who purchases a unit here. Not included in your purchase price, not included in your fee, but very easy to go over and become a member.
Right, just across the road.
Just across the street.
And that is very important because you don't need to spend money on amenities, and your maintenance costs will be low.
Much lower, yes.
The normal maintenance in town, downtown condos are what, 60 cents a square foot? This is what, 25?
Yeah, we're about 26 cents a square foot. Your utilities are separately metered, so you'll just pay for what you use. And of course that'll cover your building maintenance, your building insurance, your reserve fund contribution every month. So the condominium corp itself is easily maintained for that 26 cents a month, square foot per month. And then for amenities, really we just have a party room, which is above the lobby. So we've positioned, the way we designed the building, we've positioned the party room right above the lobby, so it's not going to interfere with anybody's living situation. Nobody's living underneath it or anything like that. And we have a nice terrace off of the party room with a barbecue for people to use.
Awesome. So now let's talk about what's the play out here for the investors. Do we expect capital appreciation on this? Do we expect cash flow? What kind of returns do we actually expect?
Yeah, this is for the GTA investor. I would say this is a twofold investment play. First, being capital appreciation. At $475 a square foot, including parking and locker, you'd be hard pressed to find a better price point than that anywhere.
I know. I have searched. I do a lot of pre-construction, and this is the best price.
Very difficult to beat. Second, within that point, this is really the first condominium offering in the Fonthill town area. And as I said, Fonthill is really the place that people want to live within the Niagara region. And because of that, you're going to get a premium on your home when you sell it. You're going to get a premium on your condominium when you sell it. But since everybody here, through yourself, are going to be the first people in to purchase, they are getting the absolute first prices offered, the first selection of units. So from an investor standpoint, you couldn't be in a better position, especially when you're purchasing in the first of 3 phases. And as we all know, the prices are not going to go down in the second and third phase. The second point would be a rental market. There's a very, very strong rental market in the Niagara region as a whole. Actually, rentals have gone up about 15% year over year in the Niagara region. And for Fonthill itself, we have, as you mentioned, more of the later crowd, the sort of the master's degrees, the PhD students at Brock. They're looking at renting properties here because you're only 10 minutes from Brock. But that crowd, they've moved on in their lives. They're not in first year, second year. They don't want to rent a room in a home. They've got families. They're looking for a home that they can call their own. And this is perfectly situated for that renter, as well as the retirees. So the retirees, the downsizers, they have a home in Fonthill. They've had it for many years. They've got a lot of equity in that place. When they sell, they don't want to move into a retirement home yet, but they don't want to deal with the day-to-day maintenance and bills of a home. So where do they go? This is the perfect solution for them.
Perfect. So let me summarize. We have the first building of a 3-building phase, which is amongst the first buildings in the Fonthill community, which is the premium community of Niagara Falls.
Exactly.
And this is not open to the public right now.
Correct.
This is only through VIP agents.
Correct.
It will open to the public perhaps towards the end of October.
That's right.
So you're looking at different stages of growth out here. First of all is when it opens to the public, you might see an appreciation out there.
Yeah.
And then when buildings 2 and 3 come along, we see an appreciation out there. And the major appreciation we get from is when St. Catherine's GO station comes along. That will be in a year or two after we get possession of the property.
Exactly.
Right. So
Yeah.
I think it's a lovely project. I'm going to go and tour around the
Great.
land parcels, and I'll let you know if anyone's interested.
Perfect. Please do. We look forward to working with you and your clients.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
I am at the site location of the 120 condominium in Fonthill, which is the first real condominium coming up in the Fonthill region. So you see we have the community center right here, and the parcel of the land which we're talking about is right here. There are three buildings, and what I'm getting to you all is the first of these three buildings. Um, it's very nice that we have the community center right across, because we don't need to have utilities such as swimming pool and sauna rooms and other things which increase maintenance costs in the building. It's right across the street. So that's something which we need to consider, that the maintenance costs are going to be really low compared to what other condominiums go for. So site again.